Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, the Frugal Ify. You may hear that my voice is a little off today. I'm not feeling very well, I have a little bit of a cold, but because I have an MBA assignment due pretty soon, I figured if I didn't film today, I wasn't sure when my next video was going to be up. So discipline, just powering through. Forgive my voice. I will hopefully try and pick up some energy to make this video and hopefully it'll be worthwhile. So earlier this week, I completed the Financial Conduct Authority's 2020 Financial Lives Survey. And I wanted to jump on camera and actually talk about why I think this survey is so important and highlight some of the insights this survey has thrown up about financial attitudes in the UK. The way I actually found out about it was completely by chance. Earlier in the week, I was sorting through some of my mail and I was about to throw away some of the mail shots, the junk pieces of paper that you get through the post, when I actually noticed that this was a request for a financial survey. I wasn't sure if it was real or not, so I decided before I threw it away to do a quick bit of research to check whether the Financial Conduct Authority were a real body, because I hadn't been aware of them before, and if the survey was a real thing or if it was a hoax to try and get my information and get me to sign up to something that I'd not been aware of. So I jumped on my computer, typed in the Financial Life Survey, and it flagged up the 2018 survey results. So before we dive into the results of the previous survey, I just wanted to give some background to this. So the Financial Conduct Authority, or the FCA, are a financial regulatory body here in the UK. Specifically, and I'm going to read this off my phone so that I get this right, they focus on the regulation of conduct by both retail and wholesale financial services. Basically, they're here to protect people, us, the consumer, when it comes to using bank accounts, savings accounts, taking out insurance and making investments. As a regulatory body, they're here to hold financial services to account and here to make sure that our rights as consumers are protected. They're a very important body to be aware of, as I've just discovered, because if you've been missold a product or if you're unhappy with the way you've been treated, they are the body to go and complain to. So I would definitely go and investigate them. I'll leave a link to their website below so you can actually look into them yourself and bookmark them in case you have any issues in the future. So back to the survey. The FCA commissions the Financial Lives Survey now, I believe, every 2 years. I think the first one was carried out in 2018, 2020 being the second. Please, if I'm wrong about that and I've missed one, do drop down in the comments and let me know and I'll go and read those results. The reason why this survey is being carried out is basically to pick up the attitudes held by British people on money and their experiences with different financial services. The 2018 survey was based on 13,000 people, making it the FCA's largest tracking survey of adults and finances, which meant it gave a very broad picture of financial attitudes in the UK, was able to pick up accurate trends and also pick up issues that may need to be addressed either by the authority, by the government, and by individuals, which is why I'm here making this video today. So though I'm aware that there is a bit of a debt crisis in the UK and a lot of people rely on debt in their day-to-day lives and have quite insecure financial lives, I was still surprised at the results of the survey. They were still quite an eye-opener for me. But what the results did was really just confirm to me why living frugally, living below your means and giving yourself the gift of financial security is so important, and why I will continue to build up my savings, pay down my debt, focus on growing my pension pot and just live as frugally and as minimally as possible so that I don't find myself in the predicament of a number of people. As of 2018, according to the Financial Life Survey, 8 million adults in the UK were struggling with debt. If we add to the fact that 25% of adults had used their overdraft in the last 12 months, it suggests to me that people do not have a strong enough emergency fund to deal with unexpected events, emergencies, or bills that may blindside them and may need to be dealt with. And if you don't have an emergency fund, it can so easily put you into a debt spiral. I'm not very familiar with using an overdraft or how overdraft penalties can affect debt. I am aware that overdraft fees can often be disproportionately large compared to the overdraft that you've actually dipped into, so I am aware that they can also compound debt. If you are in debt, please do check out, and I'll link it up here somewhere, my last video on how to tackle debt. It's a video based on advice shared by The Secrets of Wealthy Women, which is a Wall Street Journal podcast. Quite insightful, quite useful if you are in debt. So it covers things like setting up an attack plan, tracking your spending, knowing your numbers. So if you think that might be useful, please do check that out. To highlight even further the importance of having an emergency fund and having savings in the bank is to understand 4.1 million people are in financial difficulty because they've missed a domestic or credit bill. Of this 4.1 million people, they are most likely to be in the age range of 25 to 34 years old and are likely to have missed 3 bill payments out of the last 6 months. More generally speaking, 15 million people in the UK have low level of resilience to bill shocks. Basically, if a bill were to increase by more than 10, 50, 100 pounds, 15 million people in the UK would struggle to pay that bill and may actually fall into debt. What we know is that access to low credit and wage growth stagnation is fueling many of these concerns. Wages are not growing, people's lifestyles get bigger and bigger, people don't have the ability to save money because rent, mortgages, cost of living can be very high for some people. So an easy answer, and sometimes a necessary answer, is to borrow money at a seemingly low cost. The problem with that is if you don't have a plan to pay that money off, it can escalate quite quickly, it can snowball, and suddenly you're living in debt and you need to take on more and more debt just to get by. For the people that are watching this video that may actually be interested in clearing debt and becoming more financially secure, I appeal to you all to look at your lifestyles and cut out spending that is not serving a purpose. Many people in the UK that are in debt out of necessity. They are not being paid enough money. They are struggling to keep a roof over their head. But a number of people will be in debt because of flex culture, because they have a shopping habit, because they like going out on the weekend. And for the people out there that may be watching this video, the biggest gift that you can give yourself is to try and cut down your spending. Really look at how you're spending and how it's serving you, and whether a change in behaviour can save you from a lifetime of dealing with debt. If ever there was a time to make peace with seeming broke and deferring gratification, I would say it's now. In general, we all need to make better financial decisions, and we need to arm ourselves with as much financial education as possible to stop us from falling into the numerous financial traps that I have just mentioned. I think we all owe ourselves that. I will just end this video by repeating a Dave Ramsey saying, "Live like no other so you can live like no other." The 2018 survey really highlighted to me and really proved the point that living a normal life like everybody else is a major problem, and I don't recommend it. Please do drop down in the comments and let me know what you think, if you agree with that sentiment, and if you're horrified like me at some of the statistics that have been put out there. Definitely go and check out the survey results, and if you get a request to complete the survey, I think I will have posted this video before the deadline. Please do it. I think it's really important that these attitudes are captured so we do all know how we're thinking about money and what the state of play is in the UK. I think the more we know, the more we know. Anyway, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.